Hello Eurovision fans, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. In this video I want to look in more detail at the voting results of the top 6 of Eurovision 2023 and especially where the televotes came from, because of course during the show we saw what the juries voted for, but we didn't see in detail what the televoters went for from each country. And I also want to talk about my favorite moments during the voting and what kind of shocked me the most. There will be timestamps for each of the top 6 if you want to skip to that. But now let's look at the detailed results for all of the top 6. And I first want to look at the televote of Finland. As you can see here, he got 376 points, a near record televote. And the dark green is 12 points, lighter green 10 points, yellow 8 points, and then orange 6 and 7 points. And you can see, and I can stop there because you can see he got no less than 6 points from any country. Look at that. He got full marks from all the Nordics, all the Baltics, Britain and Ireland, as well as Spain, Australia, Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Belgium, and Serbia and Israel. And he got 10 points from most of Eastern Europe. Look at that. Poland, Ukraine, Romania, Czechia, Croatia, Slovenia, and Greece. He kind of did the worst in France and Italy, but also in the Caucasus. Well, he got 8 points from Azerbaijan and Georgia and 6 points or 7 points from Armenia. So you can see he really convinced every single part of Europe from east to west, from north to south. He got lots and lots of points. However, why did he not win? Well, because of the juries. As you can see, I'm just going to show you the difference again. Lots of red here, especially in Central and Eastern Europe. He got his only 12s from Sweden and Norway, then a few 10s from Iceland, Netherlands, and Estonia, but otherwise not that great a result. What I think is fun is that France gave him 6 or 7 points in the televote and 8 points in the jury vote. So the French jury liked him more than the French televoters, which I think is quite interesting. There was a bit of a diaspora influence, I think, in the French televote, but still. Yeah, so you can see Finland amazingly well in the televote. I mean, they had to come from somewhere, from Iceland to Israel. They gave him 12 points. And then in the jury vote, just not as much. Let's look at the televote from Sweden. And I think this is quite extraordinary, actually, because Sweden won Eurovision. It didn't get a 12 from any country in the televote. Really surprising to me. It got 10s from the Nordics, from Iceland, from Norway, from Estonia, because the 12s obviously went to Finland, also from Australia, and then quite middle points from Spain, the UK, Austria, Central Eastern Europe, but not that many points from Germany, France, Italy, Ukraine. However, Tattoo did get points from every single country in the televote, with one exception, and this is kind of the most the funniest kind of result of this whole year. The entire country of Finland seems to have united behind Käärijä in a way that they did not vote for Tattoo, because Finland, as you can see, is the only country in red on this map, which means that Finland didn't give a single point to Sweden in the televote. I find that really, really funny. By the way, in the rest of the world, Loreen got 6 or 7 points. And then when we go to the juries, you can see why she won. This is a map not as green as Finland's in the televote, but it is quite green. The Finnish jury gave it 12 points, so did the German, Dutch, Danish, British, Irish, Spanish, Ukrainian, Moldovan, Albanian, Cypriot, and Israeli jury. So from all over the place, east to west, north to south, she got lots of points from the juries. Not that much from Serbia, Portugal, and Georgia. But overall, very impressive jury result for Sweden. And in these two results, you can see that it's not about block voting or neighborhood voting. These two songs in the televote Finland and in the jury vote Sweden really got votes from all around Europe. And so saying that you have to have political favors to win Eurovision is just not True. Let's look at number 3, the country that finished third this year, and that was Israel. In the jury, you can see Noa Kirel did quite well, especially in the Caucasus, 12 points from Armenia and Azerbaijan, agreeing on something. Then Poland, France, and Italy also gave 12 points, and she got quite a good result from Belgium as well, from Lithuania and Serbia, and then also 8 points, which is still very good, from Greece, Spain, and Croatia. Not a lot of love from Central Europe, Germany, Czechia, Austria, Slovenia, and Denmark, all not giving her any points. Finland also not giving any points. So a very varied result from the juries here. Some of them didn't give any points and others gave top marks. Quite interesting. So the juries didn't really agree in this case like they did with Sweden, for example. Yeah, let's look at the televote. As you can see in the corner there, she actually won the rest of the world vote. And she did win the televote in Azerbaijan and Armenia as well. So the Azeri and Armenian juries and televoters all agreed that Israel had the best entry. She did not get a lot of televotes. A bit surprising to me with a pop entry like this from the Nordics. Nothing from Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and Iceland. And only 1, 2, or 3 points from Norway. Same thing from the UK and Ireland. Nothing from Germany. She got the highest televote from France, from Moldova. 10 points there. And then, as I said, 12 from Azerbaijan, Armenia, and also Cyprus. So kind of in the area, well, the general vicinity of Israel. Let's look at number 4, and that is Italy. I think Italy is quite an interesting case because Marco Mengoni got roughly the same amount of televote and jury points, even though many people thought it would get lots and lots of jury points and not that many televote points. So let's look at the televote. He did amazingly well in Germany and in Switzerland, where he got 10 points. He was on German TV before Eurovision and performed there, and his song was charting a little bit. However, I did not expect 10 points, but Germans love an Italian man singing ballads. I mean, Eros Ramazzotti is kind of a big deal. Tiziano Ferro had some hits, so I do think that this makes sense. Then Switzerland obviously has a big Italian-speaking community in the south. That might have helped. And then he got 12 points from Albania and Malta. I think in both Albania and Malta, Sanremo is actually broadcast, so they might know him and he might be popular there. Not a lot of love, especially from, well, not that much love, at least from Eastern Europe, Poland, Ukraine, Latvia, ignoring him completely. And then not that many points from the Caucasus, from Southeastern Europe, except for Albania. And not doing that well in Spain and France. I kind of expected him to do really well because I think he has had some hits in Spain, actually. And then doing equally well as in Spain and France in Sweden and Norway, which is also a bit surprising to me. So he kind of convinced lots of people all around Europe, is kind of what I want to say. When we look at the juries, there's a bit more of a regional preference visible, especially Slovenia, Croatia, Austria, and San Marino, all very close to Italy. And I think at least in Croatia and of course in San Marino, Sanremo is kind of a big deal and there's lots of Italian influence. So that might have helped. He also got 12 points from the Romanian jury, which is obviously a Roman-speaking country. And then also 10 points from Spain. Not very much love from France. The German jury gave him a few points, but not as many as the televote. And you can see in the Nordics, they were kind of agreeing, except for Denmark and Iceland for some reason. That's Italy. Now let's get to the 5th place. There's a big discrepancy between jury and televote for Norway, Alessandra, and Queen of Kings. This is obviously the jury vote. You see a lot of red all over the place. She basically only got points from Denmark, from Sweden, from Iceland and Germany and Switzerland, and then a few from Spain, Portugal, and quite a few from Israel, actually. But all the rest are in deep red, and apparently she had a very bad vocal performance during the jury show, so that might have been the reason why she only came 17th with the juries. However, When we look at the televote, that's a very different picture. Lots of votes, especially from the Nordics. 12 points from Finland because they didn't have Tattoo to vote for. I mean, they didn't vote for Tattoo. Then 10 points from Sweden, Denmark, and also Italy and Israel. Of course, 10 points from Italy makes perfect sense because she is half Italian and released an Italian version of the song as well. She did the worst kind of in the Caucasus, in France, Switzerland, and Latvia. No points to Norway from Lithuania, also a bit surprising. And then Eastern and Southeastern Europe, also not voting that much for her, but she still got middle points, 4 to 7 points from all of those countries as well, and 8 points from Spain, Belgium, Iceland, and Poland. So that is where you can see why she actually came third. Yeah, third in the televote. I mean, in the televote, number 1 was Finland, number 2 was Sweden, and number 3 was Norway. A very strong Nordic presence in the televote this year. And now let's look at another interesting case, and that is Ukraine. You can see that in the jury, there's a lot of red again. They got 12 from Czechia, 10 from Italy, and otherwise 6 or 7 from Israel and Estonia and Moldova. But the rest is mostly red or very low points. And then when we go to the televote, this is also very, very interesting, I have to say. They were fourth with the televote, and they got a lot of points from Poland, from Czechia, from Moldova, but also quite some points from the Iberian Peninsula, which is surprising, or a bit surprising at least, 10 from Spain and 12 from Portugal. And then you have lots of support also from Cyprus and Georgia, and also some good points, 8 points from Italy, Estonia, and Israel. And I think here you can see a bit of the influence of some of the diaspora. Of course, millions of Ukrainians unfortunately had to leave their country because of the horrible war. And many of them are in Poland, are in Czechia, in Moldova. However, they're also in Romania and in Germany, and there the effect is not that big. But you can see why Ukraine did so well in the televote. It got points from all over the place, also from Southern Europe, Spain and Portugal, to Eastern Europe, Poland and Moldova, or Central Europe, Poland and Czechia, and Eastern Europe, Moldova and Georgia. So quite interesting, this result as well. I hope this was fun for you. I really love maps and I love colors and talking about the different aspects of this voting. So if you want me to do the rest of the 26 finalists, there will be lots of red, I guess, but might also be interesting where they got their points from. Let me know in the comments. My favorite moments during the voting were always when Graham and Hannah were giggling and talking to each other and like bantering with each other. And there were some moments where it was almost disrespectful how they reacted to what people on the other side said, the voting spokespersons. But I do think they found the right line, because some of them, I mean, Siti Seni from Latvia, honestly, that was so annoying, and they kind of found the right way to respond to that. Hattari from Iceland was really cool. And Graham had the best comment about that, saying that he's the slowest stripper ever. And the whole hall was kind of laughing. The results that kind of surprised me the most were the 12 points from Georgia going to Belgium from the Georgian jury. I don't think anyone really expected that. And Gustav definitely didn't expect that. And he was really, really cute and fun reacting to that. Then the 4 points that Greece gave to Cyprus. I mean, this is kind of unprecedented. It happened before that they didn't give them 12, but they gave them 8, I think, or 7. But this is so low, and it kind of shows that even between Greece and Cyprus, there isn't an automatic point exchange. It's kind of surprising because Cyprus in general did quite well with the juries, but not with the Greek one, maybe because he doesn't have any connection to Greece, and even his connection to Cyprus is not that strong. I mean, his grandparents are from Cyprus, but he is Australian. He grew up in Australia. Maybe that's a reason, but I was really, really surprised by that, to be honest. And then also the 5 points in the televote that Spain got. I did always say that I didn't think this was accessible enough for the general audience, but I do think that it deserved a bit more than 5 points. Also, the German televote I was a bit surprised by. So These were the things that really surprised me the most. Let me know in the comments what were your biggest shockers during the voting. And also let me know which kinds of votes surprised you the most. Oh, I forgot one thing. Marco Mengoni didn't get any points from the rest of the world vote, which I found a bit strange, to be honest, because he was making a bit of promotion in Latin America, I saw, and I think he has had a few songs that were hits there and that he recorded in Spanish, but maybe the effect was not that big. As I said, Israel won the rest of the world vote. And then let me check. Yeah, Israel won 10 points to Finland. These two obviously did well in the televote in general, so it's not that surprising. Armenia got 8 points from the rest of the world vote, which was kind of expected because there's a huge Armenian diaspora all over the world, of course. Sweden got 7 points, Albania 6, Ukraine 5, Norway 4, Croatia 3 points, Spain 2, and France 1 point. So out of the 5 points that Spain got from the televote, 3 were from Portugal and 2 were from the rest of the world, maybe Latin America. But I know that many people expected a much higher result for Spain because Eurovision has been broadcast in Latin America through RTVE for years and years and years. There are lots of fans there, and I think they expected a bit of a better result than 2 points. We'll see next year how the rest of the world vote develops and whether there's a pattern we can see or whether it is just that this year the rest of the world liked these songs the most. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more content about Eurovision 2023, I'll do a bit more analysis of what has happened, also which records were broken. So subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss that. And very soon I'm going to start again my Eurovision history videos, talking about past editions and kind of summarizing them so you don't have to watch all of it if you don't want to. Thank you so much, and I'll see you for my next video, if you want to, of course.